Jesus. Thank you for joining us. As soon as you join us, share the program for us. Today we are bringing the e-visas again. Lasting power of attorney and making a will. Why make a will? Some people are turning on their graves. Thank you for joining us. So, good morning to you, Brother Yao. Mr. PC, good morning to you. Wherever you day, we say greetings in the name of His Majesty. Wherever you are, share the program for us. And I'm tired, baby. Say one time. Somebody never say one part or no. Now we're too full. Now we're not yet too late. Ajay Edrora say. Say open your woman. Now that she not me call. Say ya. Daddy Dumba is a legend. Yes. What do you have for you today? Today, what we're going to talk about is very, very important. It's one of the areas that nobody talks about. You know, it's just like going to heaven. Every man wants to go to heaven, but no man wants to die. But if you don't die, you don't go to heaven. So how would you make it to heaven if you don't want to die? I will paraphrase Peter Tosh. He said, every man wants to go to heaven, but no man wants to die. And if you don't die, how do you go to heaven? Yes, let's bring you lasting power of attorney. Let's bring you to also why making a will. And for me, today's topic is being influenced heavily by all the shenanigans that has been going on in Ghana for the past week or two in relation to the gospel musician Yao Sapon and the whole triangle between allegedly the wife and also a band member and possibly a friend. You know, a lot has been said about it, and everyone is having their own, having a different opinion, different takes over this saga. But I sit back and I ask myself, what lessons can we learn from this situation? This is a man who is alive. He's not dead yet. But look at someone who say the malaki and the palaver. You know, everything that is surrounding his health and also his well-being. You know, I sit back, I check it upon myself, and I ask myself, you know, if you are alive, you are fit and well, what is it that you can do to prevent something like this happening to you? Like they say, a wise man learns from others. And therefore, when we see this, scenario happening in real life, allegation, counter allegation, and the disgrace that is coming upon the family, is unbelievable. Some people are very, very upset about the situation, but what I say to myself is, it's all good and well watching from afar, all good and well listening to what is going on. But the question that I am asking you and everyone who will care to listen is that, what are you doing about your own situation? What is it that you need to do to make sure that all the drama that is going on, you are not, basically doesn't happen to you. Also, you don't become part of someone's gossip, based on what is going on. And I always say that the only way to prevent, or the only way to learn, or the best way to learn, is to learn from others' mistakes. Yes, because for me, I see that as a mistake, because if this gospel musician has put in place, i.e. power of attorney, and possibly if you make your will, it stops a lot of this nonsense occurring in your lifetime and also after you have passed. So for me, we should not just be the listener of someone's, demise or situation, but instead, we should also learn and implement it. It's not just about learning it. You've got to implement it. Make it work for you. You've got to make sure that it's working for you. You have to make sure that you learn from it, and that mistake too, you do not do what? You do not repeat the same mistake. And for me, it's called progress. You've got to make sure that you move on, and that you don't repeat such mistakes. So that's what I can say. And you can do this by doing something called lasting power of attorney. I will come to that. I will go into details and the importance of making lasting power of attorney. Sometimes power of attorneys and wills, people kind of use it interchangeably, but you have to be very, very careful. Power of attorney is effective in your lifetime, or lasting power of attorney is effective in your lifetime. Once you pass this on to glory, it comes to an end. So we need to be aware of that. And will only becomes effective after you are gone, after you are dead. So it's something that I think we need to understand, the differences between power or lasting power of attorney and a will. It serves different purposes, and not that it serves different purposes. It serves the same purpose in a way, but it's only effective under different circumstances. That is what I meant to say. So all that I say to you is, it's important that what we are going to be talking about today, we pay attention and listen good, because it will help us. In the UK, lasting power of attorney, I will go through the process with you, how it is done, how it can be done, and in fact, online version, which is very, very simple. I will also put in the link. And for me, if you want to go to any lawyer and you want to do it yourself, by all means, the process is fairly simple. I will put the link there for you to have access to it. It's a matter of choice. Some people will say that, why should I do that? Nothing will happen to me. That is their belief. I cannot impose my belief on anyone. But all that I say to you is, if it can happen to someone, remember, it can also happen to you. Because at the end of the day, the Jah who created the heavens and the earth, a day alive is happening to someone. The same Jah will live on, and it can also happen to you. And for me, what I say to myself is, if it can happen to someone, then of course it can also happen to me, because we are all a creation of Jah Almighty. And therefore, if, in his own will, it can happen to be, then of course, in his own will, it can also happen to A. We always pray that it's never us, but the earth that we live in, or the earth that we live on, nothing, is impossible. It can happen to you as well. So we just have to be very, very careful and, put in place mechanisms. In an event that it happens to us, we have already put in place mechanisms that will work for us. If it doesn't happen to us, glory be to Jah. But it happens to us, we have taken, action already. And therefore, what is going to happen to us and also happen around us, at least we may have a bit of control over it. Like the topic says, too many rooms or enough rooms in my father's house, but I am homeless. Yes, it's very, very powerful. Enough room in my father's house, but I am homeless. Would any father, dead or alive, capable or incapable, really, really want to see his child to become homeless? Would a father who is alive or dead, would they really, really want to see their child or children struggle? I would say 9.9 out of 10. The answer is probably no, because every father or every parent, in majority of cases, wants their children to do better than them. That is a fact of life. I want my children to do better than I. And therefore, I need to invest in my children. And I need to protect them in any way that I can. That is a fact of life. And if you're a parent, I would not expect less from you either. I would expect the same from you. And therefore, it's very, very important that we do what? That, we put in place mechanisms to protect our children and also their future generation. Let's share the program. Let's listen to this tune again. And then when we come back, we will continue the program. Because I'm getting text messages. People are bothering me that they haven't got the link. So let's just play the song again. And when we come back, we will continue the program in full swing. Don't touch the dial. Like Lumba said, Adie Edru Rasi. Mubechinya peme. And so now we call Sana etie. Mubechinya peme. And so now we call Sana etie. Mubechinya peme. And so now we call Sana etie. Mubechinya peme. And so now we call Sana etie. Mubechinya peme. And so now we
Can't see the world, but then she will go.
All right, thank you very much for staying, for still being with us. We're going to
Foxy Mobile's unlimited social media is great.
Because you can see everyone's holiday snaps and feel like you're there even though you're not there.
Yeah, and it's only a...
Okay, now let's start the program. Thank you very much. Today, what we are going to be discussing is, it can be emotional. It's very, very tough to listen to, but it is the reality. And sometimes you have to be tough, and everything that we are going to be talking about, is happening in real lives. There are so many cases in court surrounding these areas. And sometimes, we don't think it will ever happen to us. And sometimes life, I always say this, the only way you can guarantee something is when you do it yourself. You can never, rely on anyone and be 100% sure about it. Because sometimes in life, you yourself, you're not sure of yourself. And therefore, how can you be so sure about what someone may do or the person may not do? It's very, very, very important that, basically, we understand that, So today, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be looking at lasting power of attorney and why make a will. And before I start there, I will do a bit of talk in relation to e-visa and basically try to explain the process and what is going to happen from 1st of January. Many times we get a request where people want us to stay on the phone for 30 minutes to an hour and basically show them how it is done. During the e-visa can be very frustrating at the best of times. And sometimes when a person is not in front of you, it's even more difficult. I mean, I've had people traveling all the way from Scotland, all the way to Brixton, to get their e-visas done, not because they don't have anything to do, because they want their peace of mind. And I will advise that if you are struggling and you don't know how to do it, please don't just come on the phone and stay on the phone for that long, because there are other people who may also want to speak to us. And then when it happens like that, those people complain and it affects our level of service. And when you call to and we are unable to give you the time, that one to become a problem. You see the dilemma that we find ourselves, because we're trying to help as much as we can, but at the same time, sometimes it's also to our detriment and also leading to clients being upset about their inability to be able to reach us. So please help us for us to be able to help you. If you don't know how to do it, I will suggest that you book appointment, come in, so that we can do it for you peacefully. So that, you know, people who also want to get through our telephone lines can also get through, for us to be able to do justice to everyone that you know, is interested in our service. So that's all that I can say for that for now. Now let's look at the e-visa saga again. As I have already explained, if this is the first time that you are watching us, then I will explain again. I'm going to take my time and go through the process so that we get a better understanding of what is about to come, what is about to happen. Okay. The Home Office, United Kingdom, Immigration, Visa and Immigration, made announcements some time ago that all the UK visas issued to foreign nationals is going to go digital. So in effect, the e-visa means electronic visa, which has been abbreviated or has been shortened to e-visa. So the E stands for electronic. As we know, all visas that is being issued by the Home Office from time memorial up to 31st of December 2024 will be what we call physical visas. Physical means something that you can touch, something that you can hold. So that is the physical visa. Tangible. Something that you can, you know, touch, feel, hold. So at the moment, that is what we get. That is the reason why that when you see people's visas, it's either a stamp in their passport or a paper or a sticker that is being stuck in their passport that they call vignette or vignette. And recently, the card, which is called the biometric residency permit or the biometric residency card. So it's either BRP or BRC. So in effect, we have three types of visas or indefinite leave that people have been issued in the United Kingdom. The stamp, the vignette or the sticker, and what you call it, and the card. Home Office have announced that from 1st of January 2025, the system is going to be dominated by what they call the e-visa. That is electronic visa. So from 1st of January, for example, if you are traveling, all that you need to demonstrate is that you go on your phone, your application, and you enter into the Home Office system through your e-visa account, and you'll be able to show your visa straight away. So everything is going to be electronic. If you are old school, you can always print it and keep it in your passport. You'll be able to create a share code. The share code, once you set up your e-visa account, it will allow you to create a share code for your rent. It will allow you to create a share code for your employment. And it will allow you to create a share code to prove your immigration status. So that is the reason why, for me, it's important that you do the best that you can and set up an e-visa account. Because the e-visa account within that will enable you to do all this free and in the account. If you do not set up the e-visa account, you will be able to still provide evidence of your right to work, your right to rent, and also your immigration status by going through another Home Office 3 different websites, because each website is for one particular purpose. So for me, why don't you set up an account and have everything under one umbrella? That is what I would suggest. It's for this reason that I'm asking people, I'm telling everyone who will care to listen, to do what? To create an e-visa account. It's very, very important. You create an e-visa account and you then be able to use that to access your immigration status online. It's a fairly simple standard system, and it will make it a bit easy for everyone. So I will encourage you to set the e-visa account. Now, how does it work? In order to set the e-visa account, you will need your biometric residency permit card, and you will also need your passport. This is where a lot of people are struggling to understand me and how it's supposed to work. This is where people are struggling to understand me and how it's supposed to work. Now, let's look at this. How does it work? Most people have their passport, which will perhaps have longevity. And when I say longevity, it's like it will take longer for the passport to expire. But as we know, or as we can see, the BRP cards that has been issued for the past year or two is expiring on 31st of December 2024. So if you use your card to set up your e-visa account, then this is what is going to happen. Your card will expire on 31st of December 2024. And then it may affect your passport, because the visa will be linked to your passport. So what I'm suggesting to everyone is try and use the passport as the main document to set up your e-visa account. Because if you use your passport to set up the account, this is what's going to happen. They will link your indefinite that has got no expiry date to your passport. So whenever you are setting up, it makes it a bit easy for you. But if you do it the other way around, you use your card as your proof of your evidence to set up the e-visa account. A time will come that when you are trying to basically go into the system, it will tell you that your card has expired. And then that would then mean you may have to, perhaps, I don't know what's going to happen, but it will create a bit of confusion for you and some difficulties for you. But with your passport, even if it expires, you are still going to renew it anyway. And once you get it renewed, you can always update the system. All that you do is you scan it, and then you go to updating my e-visa account, and you scan your passport. Within few seconds, it gets updated. And therefore, you can use the new passport to log in all the time. So my recommendation, my suggestion is try and get a passport to do that. Once you set up the account, and this is how it works. And before I go to how it works, I will encourage all our listeners and anyone who will care to listen. It's very, very important. If you have any senior in your family, if you have any senior in your churches, if any person that you know that has obtained indefinite leave to remain for some time ago, please try and speak to them. I will encourage the pastors in our churches to speak to the congregation. Highlight it to them that if they know anyone who has been living in the UK for a very long time, they should draw that person's attention that there is going to be a major change. And therefore, the Vignet visa that they have in their passport, the stamps that they have in their passport, is no longer going to be valid from 1st of January. And therefore, they should do the best that they can and apply for BRC or BRP card. Don't just sit there and say that, oh, it does not apply to me, so I don't care. Because if it affects someone within the community, it affects me. If it affects someone within the community directly or indirectly, it will affect you. This e-visa scheme that has, that is coming into effect, a lot of the MPs warn against it. That this is a Windrush Generation 2 in the making. And therefore, they were encouraging the government to try the best that they can to phase it out slowly. But the government in power said, no, we are just going to push through these reforms. And now the cutoff point is 31st of December 2024. And it saddens me that some people will be caught by this. I did a small TikTok video concerning this e-visa. The following day, I had a telephone call from this wonderful lady. And he said, David, it was just by pure accident, by pure chance, that I came across your TikTok video. And since I listened to the video, I haven't slept a wink all night. I have had my indefinite since the 1980s. Everything that is going on, I did not know. I am not technologically savvy, and therefore I don't follow these things. Just by chance, one of my friends saw you talking at TikTok, and straight away he sent it to me. And since I listened to it, I haven't slept. I have been worried all overnight. That is the reason why I've been calling your phone since 9 a.m. Even though they keep telling me that the office opens at 9:30, but I could not wait because I wanted to, to do something about this before it is too late. So by 9:30, 10 o'clock, she was able to reach me. I went through the process with her and I said, you know what? I'm going to have to book an emergency appointment for you to come in so that I can resolve this problem for you. And through the conversation, she said, David, a lot of people do not know. A lot of people in my age group are not aware of the tsunami that is coming our way. And I sat there thinking, how can I get this message across? How can I get this message across to make it so simple? I cannot simplify this so that he who listens will see the importance of applying for biometric card and setting up the e-visa account. And through the conversation, it also occurred to me, because some people think that if you have the Vignet visa, you have the stamp in your passport, you can create a share code. Some people think that if you have the old style visa, you can set up an e-visa account. This is something that I did not thought of. I did not think about when I was doing my TikTok video. And therefore, I did not explain it that way. Because in my mind, I think everyone is aware of biometric card. And therefore, everyone, would have applied for biometric card, which I was wrong. But by talking to this wonderful lady, it transpired that I need to make this very, very clear. That in order to be able to set up e-visa account, you must have a biometric card or a biometric residency permit, BRP card or BRC card. So if you have the old style visa by way of a Vignet or a stamp in your passport, then the first thing that you must do is to apply for biometric residency permit under British immigration law or biometric residency card if you acquired your visa through your association and your connections with an European national. So that is the difference. If you get your visa through an European national, then you get what we call the biometric residency card, BRC. But if you get your card through your connections and associations or marital relationship with a British national, then they will issue what we call biometric residency permit. But in effect, they are all some type of visa which is on a plastic. So this is something that we all have to know. And this is something that we all have to be aware of. You know, it's as simple as that. So for me, I think if you are a pastor, if you're a community leader, you know, if you have influence, even if you don't have any influence and you have a family member, a friend, a work colleague, please bring their attention to this. Because from 1st of January 2025, I cannot guarantee what is going to happen to those people who have not applied for residency card or the residency permit, and perhaps those who have not set up a e-visa account. Because as we know, I mean, some people have contacted me over the past weeks that their employers are asking them to bring a share code, even though they have indefinite leave to remain. It's on a sticker. It's on a stamp. How do you provide such information? Because in order to be able to create a share code, you must have a card. And these people do not have cards. And some of them have lost their job because of that. Some of them have been suspended from work because of that. Whilst it is true that it is not a fair way to deal with someone, please don't wait until it's too late. Do something about it because you can. Why wait until it is too late? I say don't wait. Do it, and do it now. All that you got to do is contact David Darko of Justice and Law Solicitors. And we will go through the process with you. We will do it for you. And once everything is said and done, we will also set up the e-visa account for you. We will give you tuition, how it works, and how to log in. You know, over the last couple of months, we've been helping a lot of people. Like I said, this Monday, someone had to travel all the way from Scotland to England to get this done. As crazy as it may sound, but if you value your stay, if you value your status, then of course, you will go the extra mile to make sure that your status is secured. Many times people say that, but I don't have the time. Of course, nobody got the time. But you have to make the time. I say, you have to make the time. Because if you do not make the time, then of course you will never get the time. So all that I say to you is this. Please make the time. Because if you don't make the time, time and tide waits for no man. That is the reason why I played a song before I started the show. Or say adie edrura say. Sema shishamia mba shishami we tell am shisham na meko. If you don't do it now, by the time that you think of doing it, it might be too late. Now cast your mind back. A few years ago, the Windrush generation, the same thing happened to them. When people were encouraging some of them to make sure that they change their visas, they apply for British citizenship and so on and so forth. Some of them feel so secured that they didn't feel the need to do it. And as time goes by, things change. Generation change. And as a result, some of the Windrush generation people, they were British citizens. But it came to a point, because of the change in the law and the process and the system. The visas that they were holding, some of these immigration officers did not even know what it is. Some of them were unfairly detained. Some of them were unfairly deported from the United Kingdom. Some of them were unfairly, stopped from receiving benefit from the system. I remember one gentleman who had a cancer and was supposed to go under treatment. The question was, what is your status? The guy could not prove it, and as a result, he started having difficulties. So these are the challenges that those people face. Some of them have even died. Some of them are still waiting for compensation. They're still waiting. But no help is coming from nowhere. And there has been allegations and accusations against the government and the slowness in dealing with the Windrush generation. That is the reason why I am so passionate about this. That is the reason why I keep talking about this. And in fact, every week I will talk about it until everyone that I know, everyone that follows me, convert their stamp visas, convert their Vignet visas into a biometric card visa. Because with the biometric card visa, you can create your electronic visa. With the biometric card visas, you can also do what? Create your e-visa account with the Home Office so that you can do what? You can then move with time. Because it will pain me if someone comes to me from 1st of January as a lawyer, I did not hear that you are supposed to change your biometric, your stamp visa, and also your Vignet visa, your sticker visa, into a card visa, and then to e-visa. As I speak to you, I have European nationals living in the UK for so long. They have lost their jobs because they were unable to provide evidence that they have applied for EU settlement scheme visas or pre-settlement scheme visas. Someone is watching me, the person will be shocked. How can this happen? Balayadako, you spoke about this on so many occasions. How come that people did not do it? And I said to you, I have a very young guy, about 30-something years. This person is a manager within the NHS. And this person did not do it. Even though I was sending audios upon audios upon audios. And every time any audio that I sent to him, he listened to it. But yet, he did not do it. His head, his brain started working when he was kicked from work. And then this guy had to run to Justice and Law Solicitors with no appointment that it was an emergency. He came to the office at 12 o'clock. He sat there for 6 solid hours because there was no way that people who have already booked an appointment, I'm going to snub them and see him. It does not work like that. Because for me, if someone wastes their time to come to my office, I owe the person a duty of care and respect, regardless of what. It's for this reason that when people come to the office, I make the conscious effort and make time for them. Because at the end of the day, for the love and the respect that they shown to me, by taking time off their shadows and coming to Justice and Law Solicitors to seek legal remedy, and you're expecting me to abandon those people and come and stay on the phone for 30 hours and give free advice to someone who is not prepared, who is unwilling and unable to come to me. I won't do that. And penifo sebi se ebi kitawa ana otutu bia ebine enti so bi se na daje no oba sa ni pano a woti manim no, that person is pure gold. He is worth more than 10,000 in the bush. I have to show the person courtesy of respect. And therefore, this gentleman, I had to explain the situation. And he understood. He sat there for 6 solid hours. When all my appointments were done, then I was able to see him and I sorted him out. But let me tell you this. When I did the application, Home Office came back and said that the application is rejected because the deadline that the government announced that everyone must do it, the application was not submitted within the deadline. And then at that point, this is where the pressure started. I did not know what to do. Because when I was doing the application, I put in all the mitigation. Home Office said that it's not enough. And therefore we have to go to plan B. The work we are pressurizing this gentleman. Imagine if God, Jah, did not show me the way. I said, my servant David, every problem is got a solution. Search and you may find. And through that, I sat down with him and we did a bit of brainstorming. And through that brainstorming, we were able to find a way. So the application was resubmitted. And this time even, they were able to give him certificate of application that yes, you can work. But they are still saying that they are going to look into it. The case was submitted in August last year. As I speak to you, we are now in June, July. We are still waiting for a decision. When we were making this announcement that everyone must do EU settlement scheme, pre-settlement scheme, I said a lot. I did a lot of audios, videos everywhere. I did my bit. But yes, so na se wentia eno na ema owam etuko. Then penny say tintin eto tietia eto ye nom se nyina na ye fa adwene. Enti sama ye kan nyinara ye fa kwa dwudwum ne fani nkomo. Mentena ho ema wonua bi anase wo maami bi sa hawi bi emeto ne so. No aka say ye auntie minim se waye dada mesra ofedi nkomo. Yen fendi nkonkonsan. Yeni obi dili when I say you get a British passport or get a British passport. Would you yen fam rank just in case? Because sometimes the very little that you say can make great impact in someone's life. Life is about legacy. What you leave behind. We will all die one day. But after you're gone, let people remember you. Someone will say, anka loya drakon tiasia, kasasimwe, anka ensi da. Mayembo wudin kasempa. Asuwe eti asem. Asuwe etie asem. Yewo asem tie, ani yewo asemu tie. Enti nsema me de bremu yi monwe maso emuntie niye ba enti abasremo especially our seniors within our communities, the seniors within our communities, it's not their fault. Technology is moving so fast, they may not be aware of what is coming. I call it the second wind rush tsunami is about to be unfold. We have now up to December to save as much people as we can. Only obimpo wa adwumam na se ni age ne kwa anim kakra. Eni ni nkomo o auntie matise EV se bia ba matise card bia ba yesi obi anye bi. Me pa twa wa ye bia na. Bia na dwini ni so o kan no na na dwina ba so na ono so atime atu anamo pa bia nipa me kan adwuma mu body no ene wu tie me wa fa nkodi sa nkomo no ono so bia onya asa akwanya no entie the legal gospel from Justice and Law Solicitors enti onim de ekoso obi e wadam for power ni adwuma ni ne bon komo ni ne kona one neba because utie we adako na one fan ko adwuma ko di komo nti onu susu ni enti watena wo sa ma 1st of January aba yes one fan share code mra ada ne pan wapim no share code enti sadi pa ne de na obeye enti we pam so metina fi obetina fi a obekọ adwuma nya obi ni nkomo obetina fi a unya body ene ne mfa adwene obetina fi a afi wo ko adwuma ma wo so aye why say entintewuro sa ne hwehwe ana dabi empenim se humani so mame enu nti na atwe mienu eye de enam na sebe ye kasa ntafo a eye ntafo because omunam mienu ana empenifo se eye ntafo enti no mentina hono emma asem no ensi ansa ye nyina ye mo ye ho modern na ye mfendi nkomo se ye nwa bi ewo sa situation ni mu a onya information no na education no try na educate ni pa no ese eboboba enti mentina ho ma asem ntu nua ese no ka se oh mihu yanka e de na betimi aya aboa obi nkase kodi nsem na mbom fedi nkomo na sebe enipa no sa atibia ni mu a ono agudie esoye a obeyi ni hu afri sa how ni mu if you are listening to me I can say praise the Lord now so I just so hallelujah nina eye legal gospel yemfeni nkomo ye hu adru na yemfan save souls emba otwedi ampon kwa kunyame enti sana enti ne metimi aka ne say ye encourage our seniors or uncle be or grandfather be grandmother be on my back room check my be shame 1970s 1980s you know 1990s impo now say omo visa na a stamper you see almost sandwich passport lima the passport who say I can't so be 5 6 7 8 not just what you say a serious you know serious na ne enti no more modern na mo ni omuni komo na mo bring that to their attention na also intimi enye de fata ni de hia say dia enkofa how bia emre wo mo here video no TikTok in fact I have been very surprised me share video no not just say nearly 40,000 people have listened to it the e-visa I posted it about a week or two ago 40,000 people have listened to it and the number of people are contacting us say it's been very educational. And you know, we be ade Mary biase ye da na CP Yesu ma mefo so with information ne kono mo spread e kono sa pepe Mary champo me chacha be bia wo bia sa pepe and you know yemo modern na yefeni nkomo especially if you have you know a lot of influence in the community do the best that you can and also spread the news. You know, Adam for be crying now. We didn't need nkomo. Be no be suni mobi. Said the penny for can you know. If it our muscle and if any say if your muscle branches across roads or whatever it is. It you know sana it ye never nkomo na yemfa basically we should spread the news. You know, onkwa wotina so one spread there any education and more. It na yemfa mo boy ho. Obi hwe no se lawyer o kasa aja wo too much information now one thing I me can say obi kan sem bi osisika yenya yempe e very deep ba na yesaka bibi say if something is for you you will never lose it bibi anyame ne dema bo homoden e wo wiase na bia baby aso no ebeyi wonkunimdi ewiase eyemre time so what time ba do be some bia no eye good na media ne say me dem ho bebo afode within the law to spread the gospel sabe through the words that I come out of my mouth say obi etimi save the headache of the Windrush generation. I've done my job. Bia assembly mechaniha be save someone from going through this torture, having a leave, having an indefinite, and then after 1st of January, to be told that your indefinite is worthless. For someone to tell you that you don't have indefinite, even though you have indefinite, and it's a sticker, it's a stamp in your passport, and it's no longer, what do you call it, accepted. What you gonna do when they come for you? This is where sometimes injustice occurs. But I say to you, don't wait for that injustice to occur. Instead, do something about it. Jump before you are pushed. That is my philosophy. That is my principle. And until the philosophy of which one race superior and another is inferior, is discredited, I will keep preaching the legal gospel. So that's what I've got for you in relation to the e-visa. Today's topic, the main one. Enough rooms in my father's house, but I am homeless. Turning in my grave. If the dead can hear. If the dead can see. Many a times, a lot happens in our lifetimes. And a lot also happens after we have passed on to glory. Like I said, we all want to go to heaven. Even the mother of Jesus, Mary, wants to go to heaven. But yet, we don't want to die. And if it is a case that in most cases you have to die before you go to heaven, how do I go to heaven if me no die? So this is something that we don't like talking about. But Lawyer Darko, for the things that I see, for the things that I hear, I've got no choice but I to call a spade, not a garden tool. Enough rooms in my father's house, but I am homeless. Remember this. Enough room in my mother's house, but I am homeless. I sleep on the streets. Remember that. My father left a lot of legacies, money, estates, but I am starving. Remember that. And every parent want their children to do better than them. Remember that. In this case, what is it that you can do? What is it that must happen? And I will use the case of Yao Sapon as a very, very typical example. For the past week or two, look at what has gone on in Ghana. Some of the disgraceful things that we've seen. Disgraceful acts that people have come out to display. The man not dead yet, but look at what go on. And sometimes the sad thing is, as soon as the person dies, people start fighting over properties. And the very people who fight over properties will say that they are not greedy. Equality is equity, and equity is equality. I'm going to explain this. This is a serious matter that needs to be addressed within our community. As soon as someone dies, it's grabbing, and grab. Who can grab? Who is fast? Who is nasty? Who can fight? Because within our community, we have this sense of, oh, Jaimanenka, just leave it. Oh, don't fight over this. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know, sometimes it goes against common sense and justice. When you try to fight for justice, you are labeled as a troublemaker. Within our community, people who shout the loudest, who got loudmouth with no sense, sometimes people allow them to dominate. Simple because they've got loudmouth, because they will talk. Why do we say that for this to happen? Even some parents knows within their children, some of them are not right. But a mother's love or a father's love to a child sometimes stops them from dealing with realities. Not everyone is practical. You know, I've done this job since 2001, 23 years now. And I've come across so many scenarios. And one particular case, 2006, I will never forget. This man came to do a will. And I'm just going to give you a summary of the will, because today we are going to talk about a will and lasting power of attorney. When this man came to do the will, to be honest, I was shocked. I could not understand why he has made certain decisions. But you know what they said, the longer you live, much more you will learn, my brother. I was looking at this man and his will, I'm thinking, this man, what is wrong with him? Because some of the provisions within the will, it was not making sense to I. And I was asking myself, why would you make such provisions? And it has stuck in my head, you know, from 2006 up to present. 2 years' time, that would be 20 years. It's one of those things. The first provision that really hit me was that I make no provisions for my wife. I was shocked. I said, hey, Oba Wadeneti, I just could not understand. And then he also go on to say that I make no provisions for my children. I said, well, yo, what go on? Instead, he made provisions for the grandchildren. And this is the clever way. The grandchildren were under 18 and therefore they could not hold property. So what did he do? He used their mother as a trustee of the properties that he is passing on to the grandchildren. So we ask him, why is he doing that? And he said, look, David, me no trust the partner of my daughters. I said, huh? I said, yeah, man. Me no trust the partner of my daughters. I said, okay. Why? So he set out down his reasons. And he said, me don't want to see my grandchildren suffer. If my children are the trustees, they will have indirect benefit anyway. If it's the house, they can stay in the house, but it does not belong to them. They will be a trustee, and therefore they will be obligated to pass it on to my grandchildren. For that, I know that my grandchildren are sorted. Also for inheritance and tax purposes, me I go save a lot of money. And I said, wow, okay. It makes sense to him. But after he started explaining, it began to make sense to me as well. So sometimes people make certain decisions. They may have their own reason. When it came to the wife, I said, me, David, I tell you this. Me and my wife, we there upon the same house, but she done nothing for me. She don't cook for me. She don't clean my clothes. She do nothing. For that reason, we go leave her with nothing. At the end of the day, we are going to leave her something. Another man will come and enjoy. Me don't play that game. Me suffer to get what we did. So me not going to share it with no man. I sat there and I asked myself, wow. People have a choice when it comes to a will. And therefore, whatever you decide in your will is what will happen. And therefore, I will say to you that you have that choice. Don't let anyone take that choice from you. Whilst you are alive, you can make that choice. Because if you don't do it and you die, someone is going to make that choice for you. Some people are turning over their graves. They pass on. Their partners will move on and get new partners. And sometimes, if the new partner, they are dodgy, your family wealth will be taken by them. Because they may use dubious means, dubious ways. They will probably get married to your wife. And if they get divorced, then obviously your wife is going to share whatever she has inherited. And therefore, just one moment, please. All right, the alarm is gone off. Sorry about that. So basically, that is what some people think. But hold on, if I am married to you and I leave everything that I have struggled for to you and I pass on, and you end up marrying someone else, then there is a danger that everything that I have worked for, I have passed on, there's a danger that basically you're going to give it away. So some people will use will as a mechanism to protect what they have worked for. Some people will disagree, some people will agree, but it's a matter of choice. Depend on how you view things and how you view life. So let's look at a will. Why make a will? A will is a legal document that is made after you have passed on. Then the will take effect. Your wishes, you state it in the will. Many a times people say that, but I don't have anything. Everyone has got something. If you don't have anything, let me show you this to you. You've got your body. You've got yourself. Body is not a property. It does not belong to anyone. However, case laws, both in Ghana and in the UK, teaches us that the body, the family, the blood family, not the children and not the wife, but the blood family have more right over the body than the children and also a wife or a spouse. We should understand this. Many a times whenever there is a death in the family, sometimes you see children making noise, shouting, making all the noise as if they have power over the body. I am telling you this, you don't have any control, any power over the body. In fact, the blood family have more control and power over the body than children and spouses. We should understand this. Not only that, if there is something that as a child of the deceased, as the spouse of the deceased, you have any wishes through conversations that you have had, the person wants something to happen, you go to their family and put in a request. You don't go to their family and make a demand, because the person came from somewhere. The person came from a family and the person formed another family. But there was one family before the new family. We need to realize that. So if, for example, I sit here and my father passes on, I cannot go and tell my father's brothers and sisters that what should happen. Our culture, tradition, and customs, when you talk about family, we are talking about the extended family, where the man came from. If the man has got a father, a mother, brothers, sisters, uncles, it is my duty to go to them and plead that when my father was alive, he wanted to wear this ring. When he passes on, he wanted to be buried with this and this and that. It's a request. And when you show that respect to them, there is no way that they will deny you that request. But problem comes in when we are so disrespectful to the elders. That is where the problem comes in. Sometimes people think that they've got money and therefore they can buy someone. If you are richer than me, I'm poorer than you. I'm happy with my poorness. Be happy with your richness. It's as simple as that. But life is about respect. Respect is very, very important. When you show respect to someone, 9 out of 10 is reciprocal. You're going to get the same thing back. But when you are disrespectful, people will tend to be disrespectful regardless of how much money that you may have in the bank. Because at the end of the day, the money is your money, not the poor man's money. So we need to be very, very careful when it comes to these things. And a will, like I say, if you don't leave a will, the law will determine what happens to your properties and to your estate. This is where the rules of intestacy comes into play. The wife will get half, the mother, the father, the children, and so on. They may also get their share, depending on the circumstances of the deceased. But for me, when you do a will, it cuts all this. The will will tell you who gets what. And sometimes people say, but I don't have anything to do a will. You have your body. You can decide whether you should be buried in the United Kingdom, whether you should be burnt to ashes, whether your body should be taken over to Burkina Faso, to Ouagadougou, to Morereland, whatever it may be. You get to decide what happens to you whilst you are alive. Some people will say, when I die and you bury me, you know, grow this plant or grow this tree near my tomb. Or if you are burying me, make sure that my face faces north, east, west, north, center, and so on and so forth. Some people have these desires or wishes that they may express. Some people will say that, well, when I die, cremate me for my ashes to be put in the Atlantic Ocean. People have different choices, different reasons for doing these things. So all that I say to you is, try, if at all possible, do a will. It does not cost that much to do a will, because it saves so much headache, so much fight within families, so much aggression, so much insult. Because as soon as you die, don't think that everyone in the family is going to be sad. That is a reality. In fact, some people will be happy that you are dead. It's nasty. What I'm saying sounds a bit nasty, but believe me, it is the truth. And the truth sometimes is painful to listen. Someone is watching me thinking, is this man mad? What is he talking about? Woe unto you if you think everyone will love you. Woe unto you if you think everyone will want to see you succeed. Woe unto you if you think everyone that smiles with you wants you to succeed. Yes, turn your back and you see that the knife, the dagger is ready to be choked. If you don't believe me, then just go and read the book of Genesis. There are so many examples in the Bible that we use as an example. Where within, some people get betrayed. Joseph or his own brothers, some said we should kill him. Some said we should what? We should sell him. Some said we should put him in this hole. Because of the glory of God, some people could not stand it. Do you think everyone wants to see you succeed? You have to be realistic. You have to live a reality. Some people want to see you fail. Some people want to make sure that they disgrace you in your funeral. And therefore they will do whatever it takes to make sure that they cause enough damage as possible. And the same people will then turn around telling everyone different story. Like a chameleon. They are red today, the next day they are green. The life that we live, the life that we have, believe in me, is through His grace that you and I, we are still alive and we can see. The world that we live in is a wild, wild world. We live in a nasty world. So put that in your head. Think about a will. Some people will actually cause commotion after you have passed. Not because of anything, because they want to bring disgrace to you. So that people will say that, oh, mommy, we and yes, you see, and I say, I'm not for cancer. I'm not for cancer, papa. And most people also pick up on the negatives. You know, what you quite yes, the same place, not me say, you need too. Baku for society, baku for society. Na ehie ekoso. So if you are observant, believe in me, when you go to funerals, just look around and see what goes on. And when you go to a funeral, pretend that you don't know anyone. Now the you was now betty sounds, betting some microphone. Then penny for say apotro, owu and you win a tenting. And some microphone be cafe disease, chemical be yen and say. Na me dra ye na se no me tie se obi ka se maami we ene den be ye bi ofa ne kwa obi a wawu na ye na yie no a sebe ye be ka awrechi kire ene asempa bi afa nipa ne ho no hwe do obi ka and it's one of those things. Totoni eme because a year ase and crofo di nsem ana a year ase and obi so ye ne ho ayi because of beko hwe maame no owu yesu je afie tu o ana ne ma no ba ko bi wo ho yes o nye waji bibia abo so because yentu anamon enhihye ye ne amayi entu bewu no na e de more confusion ana aba am your community this your community ya. He who shout the loudest. And when I'm here, I know. The orchestra theatre, only Crofoti answer. The orchestra theatre, and then a bimudi a support. They know, say the Nipani and but a hunty or the support in Nipan. Because on Pessi Nipan, they can say a beer or a posuno. And to be a man, or need leadership quality, or you're just a follower. But when you back him out, I know the nature. He says so obey substance of the argument. Now, on one case, I'm making the man say, Massa, the way you know, there be one they shout with me in nature. And two back on now a year, a much too. We gua. What you know, a little people, no, or nina will be a day per capita. What can so be a genius and yana cry? And so many chances or not seen a pattern will be about no genius so good. No accountability. Say them penny for can you know. Or say abusua penny and any brady no. Or ye a year na semfa so baswa was my famika. A caso somebody was here in Chintia. A CNT. Nemo oya wo real. Sebe. What pace can be at all? Ese mi wua what pay undertakers. Mi wua. Me ye no me pay ye kese mo high wall e cost 2 pounds mo ye say e cost say me casket e cost say we cost say you pay for your own funeral pay asembia fru bia ho enye safi no ba bi gino say me ye aboka into be first camera enya fe na wo ma wo sabe how esa beto wo so enna dem be catch them for life insurance okoka na nkofo edankama pai. Can you live forever? No, we are all going to die one day. Hey, me too, one day. Nam kasa same way, me see me wua. Baby a besi see me a quine chain. A quine chain and kasa. Obisi ubede nyabi. Ebi ohopa. Me na no sika. How much you are prepared to pay? Now your family board ebo. Here lies the man. That's it. Forever, ever loving job. That's it. Now, Obi Kema. Now, already hairstone now. Well, who say, Uwachidi? And your baku for the afro. Ubi Abikobi. And to we will stop most of the nonsense aya ekoso within a year say any family. And very, very important. Ye who drew. Meant now can me the end to me. Now as someone towa was if you know can. Now someone towa and I will say yes if we are seeing. Dear one in the call our in air banner or none in yawa or beyo. It's infant to your home for. When you're real, you decide who gets what. Subby million committee. At some point, me realize my ese me change, you know. Because me ma me show my brabo. Ebi enyamya dom se baako example na me de ye. Baako abomodin wetimi anya adwuma, wetimi asinifie, wetimi ayewe. Na ye mfa ne se baako soso dia wa ye enhyeda enko so te se baako na se me jajapadea me nchen pepepe. I believe in equity is equality. And he said, £1,000. That's a DJ man. The Yamay na Duma Abrabono, Ako Yamano. Ebia money 40%. Now Ebia dear also all struggle Kakrano. My money 60%. Let's just say it's me pushing. Because a real son, men what gonna say, oh ma, as they grow up, the love that they have for each other will remain the same. Believe in me. Because once they start forming their own families, especially if their children are not strong, and even if they are strong, can I say one of them get influenced by a third party? Believe me, the love becomes hatred. That is a fact. Obi o kasa bebre baby and only delay so no. Because baby obi be an order obeka. Enti na wiase no, menye wadwene say o maka. Enti therefore no, you are leaving everything for them as it is. And we are for a case of watching home as on court. Obitimi edini nua court. Ewe japade ho. Obitimi ne maame anase papa court. Ewe japade ho. Sabe efunu kra na de bi court wo ho. Go and read law books. Egum bebre. During COVID time no. The cancer same way bi wo ha 2020. Slovakia, Jamaica. Where ni penny woo ye say fani ko Jamaica, ebi say there be ne board end do, ye say no kromu. Some people are thinking about economics. Some people are also thinking about the feeling and the will of the disease and the desires of the disease. After that, the same ebusia enu afo no mo ko. Ba ko si ensi no ba ko si enfane nko. Enti sankoya ni will final determination, problem solve. Na keso atwa. Enti mesre mo, ye take it serious. Aya ensem de atibia adrobia na abre. Nya ye fed up. Because ya kan wasma kan wasem. Eni pe bubu nu egu na so. Asem na so ba, nya saja brother ya da ko. E dem tu table so. Afi no ya me ye no, asaba sa da na ebusu apanyina kan ho. Marriage counselor. Adinti de se ba na sa. Edu bi a se ni abro, edu bi a phone ya switch no off. Because yes, asoko edidi. Because said one asoko solve will be problem no. One channel with you ko boom. Enti besremo, yenye your word true. Why make a will? Because it's a matter of choice. It gives you the choice to make the decisions that you want to make. Not only that, we are real so swa. Se when you are sebe. Baby a usika shishe biaro. Any power who choose you know as your executor can go there and get it. And do something with it. You know, I've seen cases where people have passed on, they did not leave a will. Sebi ome ye krana na e wose bosia ana busia kobo ene ye. Ombe hu no yada ko ana eja kakra minim no me bo ma na kese life insurance skabai. I said um de kwa kutua ka. So it's a best remo important as a will obia as will be atimi ye bi. O pensions also say kromo bia o pension private pension obia o login details o ko honoma obetimi afile form bi beneficiaries form. Now what choose people who you want them to be your beneficiaries. Senyame se uwa said they are insurance company no enum be deal na o contribution bia no o metimi dia ma wo because one yes ade ne pe na uko free one enkofo bebre bia da hono I was a cranny the air coso. enti ano de individual na yenka say lie say betina ho ama adwuma yaye akwa akodi kamu dia eno de ene ya ye de foto de beba say with information do de beye eno de mejai amamoa enti ano so de meka ho asem no na lasting power of attorney eno so eye de ba de lasting power of attorney eye legal document obeye ato ho no se dachi bimpo se yare bimpo abo anase bibi mpo ato ana wankasa unye capable of making decisions concerning your properties, concerning your health, concerning your finances, dia not just say we lasting power of attorney. Sese kwani ya lucky utimi ne digital na digital no me de ye fenisen me de babe to sisia lasting power of attorney we be kase lawyer ade na ade to so we de perform awo ai e wom sambo but personally no say obi atimi ye bi to wa ebeboa any tweka ekoso e wo ye community no eso beti e ba na sa so lawyer da akoma so mbadwo mi so because I have phone calls na eba no eye too much any man can na meboa any many bi wo a emfa wo live mu kra enso so obi be frɛ aye de abusa se unu afrɛ na so ahokyere mu ne ha mu a na so afrɛ wa wo tia ka say no David entimi spend tudwa na so de nipa na atu ana mompu no ye sa de na at least afun ko ebeba me so no eso beti na lo ya da kon is maso mo adwuma kakra. Until your two types of lasting power of attorney, health and welfare, property and financial affairs. Yentie mi eba. Se o ya yeni mi enu nyina. Because baako eye health and welfare. Enti se ukoye health and welfare ni nko a. Na se wan nye the other one about property na. Health and welfare no cannot be used to control your properties when you become incapable. Enti ye she no so. Enti link no me de betwan mo sesia mesremo unya tama wo de unya anya wadwene so ba ye kra na think about it, read about it, me feel say ebeboa na oye to oso a dachi bia no sa asem sia you see asem sia obetimi aye de obia o attorney no betimi a refer to na se wetimi e de aye de e wo se oye na eye abos eye tumi nkrata a ekyerɛw sɛ ebia dachi bi lawyer dakon ebia menye dementia minim de ekoso minim ne surroundings ebia she me ko to ke homo se careful be mi fie na ba be hwɛ mi ho se me pension me yiska o se whatever to do with me living no power of attorney no me choose and I say me choose obi a me gini di obi a me free said dachi bi se me yarimpo eda ho a obetimi making the right decisions for me hwe we enya dia e bi emotions na yo se o yes ade we ya pe the right person menka se obi eminua intimi choose no menka se obi emeba intimi choose no obi betimi ayo onua enso no mfa ho obi betimi ayo oba enso no mfa ho enti sa Africans anase sebe Ghana for yenum bi no aye wa adwene bi se ese chinchina wo choose obusuani no o yes be a mistake enu na yete companies egu no because what tie adwuma na okofa na busuani abetena ho na busuani so ba wa mbre ne ofa emfa ho no be diska no asa adwuma no okọ so but obi hunu so na akofa na oya de obedwene ho tu enti no sa ya mindset de bibia eyese eye abusua ese internal no obi nkase me ne obusuani nya adwuma obi nkase me ntwusu wunua but you need to realize say you are choosing the person who will do right by you. Obi betimi aye wunua enso no ope o downfall obi betimi aye oba enso no ope o downfall obi betimi aye o yere enso no ope o downfall obi hwe no beka say hey what are you saying eyampa eye the reality se beka ne kra ye beka ne kra pa de make me boa chugu ase me boa eye fact of life obi poison you kunu obi shoot na yere o hwe criminal law book ma the case of Aluwalia, or the petrol, a good cruise, a pabanchi, or she alive. And to me, and pretending as it doesn't happen. It's about choosing the right candidate, the right person to help you out. That's what I can say. Time na kona nimbia, ebo wane di jumani bane wiye. Tile adakum, makebi, nempeni se, oba, nase wankwa, uji weniso. Etime mu pi, real, anase power factor ni ne ehu hia. Na deta me kase ehu hia ne se, yehwe yenua, ye papa, ya damfo. Ya Sapon Ghana, a gospel musician. Now saying the echoes of media in Asiate. Summary, a player yari. Yet now go to hospital. After so hospital in this country and some baby. After now go to a sorry fee, or the sorry fee also so. Mamibia ba esa we the year. Baba Shena T and a downfall. And I said in Pena, and I said the year the gospel singer Tiwa Nabetan in chain. Hey, Mammy Antiasia. Or the radio station antenna and my homo bo honomo and my say Ghana everywhere is hey. News will be a canon. Ama everyone is judging. No people say me the same way this week. Me catch any fan say meet me judge obia and I meet me blame obia. At the end of the day, you know, yes, the echoes here na ya TV. One kasana wuti obi dia so busa me say, man dwene me say, one kasa what are you doing about your circumstances? Why you real or see there be? Why you power factor or see there be? And I'm saying, Massa, any you only could be intented. Obi the avana who now where? What have you done about your situation? Aya a two beer, Jesus Unkasa. Busa who say, they are 20 and meeting out to me, Anna. Me for me share, you know, send me beside me. Now I was lucky and I'm glad. I said, the mind me real at all. Power of attorney, no, my draft it, but me and submit it. I wake up call to me. Me submit it. Because obi nim echina sem na ewiase eso bi benya wa na ye yare. Na le adako, me de make say yare nko a, eni ohia. Yare eni ohia, Nyankopon empanimu. Sesa ni mabu tuwe pa beto me de. Ana ka de am kasa asem we. Nyame twame nkwa so. Ohia ene yare me de mu difference wo. Ohia ene yare me de ma dwene mu no. I don't see difference wo. Ade a ya wo wiase pa no. Say health, you are not right. And I say be here. Na say be do be di kra bebo. Wo de ye hwe Ghana e community obetimi ka se hunu no support ni support no because anybody di nachi on the feed no e do ka se da no ada da wona minti aso no ati aso enye da e si de bia e kom e ya pa e kom ohia ne de kom ba ne kom de wa you are capable of anything ade e fe ne yare ade fe no hia do bia wotie bia no nyame yi free se nipa na kwan mu sakemi pimpa and came free we ase cause nya ade pa but such is life yankoto ayena tile adako makabi na I hope I say tiefo ye be kwa dwendwene mu owuo edawo ma obia enya real abe ne ba bekum ana enye power of attorney ababe ne be mu ayare ana say ebe ma waye incapable. It is there as an insurance. Said ye yeah bibimpo bana say BBC you have a backup. Obi a obe selected and say sabi da me yare kete sompo na se mintimi make decisions me you say you do the right thing by me. It does not necessarily have to be your mother or your father. It does not necessarily have to be your wife or your brother or your sister. All that you need is someone that you trust. Someone who has got your best interest at heart. Someone who can fight your corner. And you be a do a chi or yodium, a drink to come with Ghanaian. But obia a to dear dinner or Jimumau, Elcomau. Sadi pan is so choosing. because on na service o yare da ho empo na se akoye koda enna na untimi make decision a say nipa ne betimi agina mu a fight ama o enti se u make decision aya yemfa emotions and tonchen na yen use our head and for making those decisions enumum ebeboy etiatiefo medamasipi ye di dwumadie nbesia na ye bie amatrofo na tum yo 15 minutes na ye fanfa some phone calls ti ye de amatrofo na ba betudwa don't touch it that Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Team Pacho di sena kase free.
Oh, yes, me auntie. Me katasi auntie.
I
Me
do.
grandpa. We can push it up fast. You know, on the way now, kind of things that what. In fact, yeah, I can say I'm conscious, but I think in the one thing, I'm actually alpha super, which is very important. But on the first one, we can say, Marcy of the main map, it's near the Kakrebi, and Martin so I say Kakrebi, but then on Tenny Hop and what it's not many hope for all his life. And I say no, it's hope will be active. Now, but the relationship between or name the family, the Bushia, are very dangerous. And I will believe, say, that makes you work to the Bushia near because she will sell the cop, the Japadion. Like, or what's happening on your will also on yet be an in my car and not take home. And I mean, so many be Anthony okay, and there will be a name. I think it's with Niwa, if that's the Bushia and the fat, the Japadiana, Tony Betty side to send you okay. And on Penza, Menaka, well, this is just a suggestion. I found the all near the and yet me managing me hope uncle me feel. Is it a good suggestion just because of I know what happened? This is almost 70 years now, and anything like you are saying can happen. Is it a good suggestion?
I would not say a bad suggestion, but you have to be very careful how you execute it. The reason they say obi o to meet na baby sa no are used to baby crow. Uka say on change environment in that alone can kill her. Minimum beer. Was if you and so to be fee. Obe can dear or say one what na born brain one over to and sometimes what you know want to see. And you know, me say any good any bad suggestion, but how you execute it, you know. And no na esa we get very careful because at the moment, you know, a problem now also a go. Or a problem never. And no there no doubt. Because a busuani be one man. What you one man? As you know was him, as you know won't. unya to ho pe afi no be kire say omnom ye blood family and the law is on their side. The law is on their side and no dear oh shamia make catch you plain oh ye ba na so ma me una papa wu hai we need choice we ni ano enti mu ta kekekeke no e dede kwa abuseni nuanom eno ma me mo omo na efiri ni omo dia o enti if they decide don't make any be adwuma
but na wo ka de abusiano body ni mo body ni na ye abusiano dia blood wa but property is no automatically omo dia na
ye free bibi the rules of intestacy Ghana so bi o sa se obi wu na se wanya wela na se owokunu a ana se owoyere a 50% ekoni kunu ana se ne yere wo de aka ye 50% no na se 50% ya chemutu na ne ma enya 25 se omame no wapati asia omzo enya 25 enti law no and the be determine who gets what enu se na eye dangerous no because obi wo a umpese obi bi kura be ko ne ho enso na ko ne ho yemfa ne se mami ti ase o mafo ba ko na bre ahwe ne saa okowu ya na na japade ya che ne so bi anya kota na se se de oku ne ho ehwe mami ne saa no aboka because someone who ti sika hwe mami no bi ayi nani enti how fair it is to that person. Oh, eti life on one hwe maybe ya and ma be call wrong and a older generation, you know, and difficult to persuade them. Who can't real I don't be saying they don't want to listen. Oh, and to tell you who and the man so never any problem never omotiwo omu bi de bia enso so no omu nye ho bibia na they are causing problem after problem after problem.
Yes.
Oh, ayade a ahometi ana ko pam ni sisi aso so pe won hwe orija ye kra beba umpe mame ase ti no pam me mame no say ni oh any problems never enti make us firstly no ebia eno oyere ne nkasa but you say you oyere mame beboa
yes
eno oyere nkasa no chance mame metie program we me aso me de kwa adwintwiri mu no this is a reality. This can happen to anyone. It can happen to your mother. Ewuo obi abewu na mmom eso hihye wo ne man se no wo na duro enu nti no wo na wo ben wo maame mesre wo try and speak
so we dey fit how to see me am ko gan me name wife alcohol and na ko kasa yenya ono tie ni tie o say o tie ne will ye the family it is who are obi pa o mara no ni family ni be ti on the o say the will e family like would ye uwa wow to ye kusini obi to peso opefa the japadi no me have on the time the bio count on the way ye family but someone to me your ways like someone in what way that maybe someone with me play role
some and the question so busane say dabe na owu ya ohu se saman e wotumi e wate asefo so eye gidie bi na ewo ni patrimo ese wuwu a o saman betimi aye bibi woti ase no wetimi anya hwe a wowu na betimi aye bibi ana obi enwu enkomai emeka kire ese wuwu a se na betimi aye na ase se na betimi aye eno eye gidie bi ewo ni patrim he obi wo ho a wo se saman a saman timi nya ne hwe ewom se wiase na wo no spirit wo ho no but spirit no me understanding me say spirit no be hu de ekoso but ontimi nya ho hwe so anything I want to ask no do it no do it because you have the power to do it now so anything on your microphone say o want to ask na a bit challenging kakra okay they don't want to listen tell you mu a the problems they be fie every time the problems they be fie na me won dem akasa asem we me intimisika enkokon obi a wo japade ho nda never
of course
and I can make Jamanaka what kind of life is this me say minimum bia or chairman so 50 years and say na ni papa japade e dey ma wo enti hwe ka ni pane boy lawyer sisika na eso otua ni papa akopio ono kwa de sika hwe sa man so onya japade ne de na ni nuanu mi na yi omuti e beje hye o twe man so no obi ayi nani ti sesko de twe man so no ko di sifie ni bia ko nwie so enti ni mani bi wo ho ma mistakes bi wa ya annoying. And to minimum dear, and this area no, I try to do the best that I can for people to see. As a way real like enkum. And I say someone I work no, and no real no, real the feeling someone see it. And to okay, say someone in video and no say see no. Because real, oh yes.
Oh, okay.
Real dinner no, real dinner in someone see it. Say we no the whole car no say NC no. I mean they say timpani say feeling someone see it. And it's official with my some idea and a 1 year seeing into one more. Never fast in Biama.
Oh, wow.
Because if you see one, we are the me have my clients this year. And if I pray, I'm telling you, backward the 47, backward the 54, backward the 67. I never thought say they would die.
The walk out and the crowd, the BBL, no crowd, the shooting. I mean, the way I would yet. I know the last 1 year, the first now will come in. They find the Nian Casamenti and the property. Now, to be frank, meaning that actually, I wish that if my wife can hold almost 100% of my property, that's what I want. She's very good. Now, the problem is you actually go. Now, yeah, what worry? Na bema obakopano the bema no be ebe baby nyam o through that ever me ja kabien di ba ku di bema no wa ma e no de ma mi hu na mi hu se de di sa dia e de na mi hu de me
yes e be tia ko di bema ne ho e bi be tia ko di bema ne ho wa nya like kra bema ne betimi afa adenti de timisi e wi ase bibia timisi enu ti na oya real e bring you peace of mind. I bring you certainty. Ebi adachi wuni ho no. Oba na kwa kobudo. Be ma na chinchim oba na adwene. Wan hwe yi, oba be transfer property ni kra. Oba transfer property ni na body ama be ma no. And then I would downgrade you, no twa wo. Because it's not something that you anticipated say it will say AC. Nemom, this is what I will say. You can do something called mirror will. Mirror will no do be and say no ba na be reflective. And you know you will leave the property on trust for obano for the benefit of your children. And no there is guaranteed and your body there na waton and that's what they are movie. And your money.
I don't know yet the process never.
Okay, ubeti no ba ni nyina aye will. Aye fe ne mirror will. Mirror will no obano so be ya will. Ese onu susu wu a ne share anko benya no property no no we be holding on trust for the benefit of the children.
Okay.
And that means he say mu nyina no we be use kra na yemo de ya emoma de ya and we bring you peace. Unim say the next generation we secure. Me that is what I've done. Because sebi me wuto was here there is no guarantee say me yedin ko fa be ma fufu. How can I guarantee that? Bemo baby do I na no cry there e ho no cry no e no cry dey see who na wasaba be hihye mrama homa na wona bo si wiase yeti very important.
Is it possible to say you been yet the plan?
So oh yeah.
Fine, my men on that or a on the year, but next will be our the ban in case say the new one or body was or a and as the Oban now, none to walk, Oban means a sort of money crew. It is very cruna, the better one happy. We need a capacity be there must be white. Very good, you have been to say. But the crew here, the better that you would hold that or arena and don't want to make the
say, Obia,
a walk, Oban, you want to ban for why you crack and your body here now, and you okay, what they are from my man, and what gravity, and also no effect to do of one.
Say, Obi under 18, won't me and who do property, and Untina, I was say, we any true trustee. What be more ban no ban a pass ya macrano by law. Because we under 18 and me fini din koto so.
Okay.
And no issue, no. But me make say do it through the deed of trust, and I say through the trust instrument. Your estate, will hold it, and I say a beko ban no ban pass it at the ama akrano. Say land registry, for example, Krumo say, would mean register BBFN trust deed. Or register against property, And so being poor better now money warning say at the end you'll be full fraud there until the panel go home. Not just say they protect family property, and I say your wishes will be carried through. And then the best avenue to use. If you say nothing is guaranteed, sebe, what you say do when you pay situation can change. Obeka just a body no be for your wood. Yeah, obi go chini na say ekoni ya, office obeka will be you. I mean, and yesterday,
information is very highly. You be a open one for years. Where can we find the opportunity to one? Now, who can take it that be? The opportunity, I don't know. And the last one you said. With your word and if I would my word, is it advisable to disclose it to him or you shouldn't let the person know?
Beneficiaries under the will must not know what is in the will. They must not see the will. If they see it, it will invalidate it. In terms of lasting power of attorney, comment section, link a very simple and straightforward. I will encourage every Ghanaian to do it. Lasting power of attorney, very, very important. A self-explanatory personal details. Fairly, we are two of them. One is for health and properties, and one is for what do you call it, finances and welfare. And no you register. And no so to make decisions via na nipa na wa point no make those decisions for you. When it comes to will, just see a local solicitor. They will draft it for you, and then wherever your property is, you can secure it, and then you will then register it at the Wales Bank. Now, and also at the peace of mind amount. Because in the years now, and I say, adjustment for our life insurance, any adjustment for the incasa, neji form, na beneficiary, chumudi shawonomo. Ubu awo ye adjuma, either say ignorance, and also sometimes sheer lack of, I don't care. Or yeah, adjustment for life insurance. Ya ye biamano, beneficiaries dinkra wonchon share into wua na shim. Or ana uboswa or pensions or so okom website one more. Choose your beneficiaries. Because when choose book wishes here. Some of the minimum be a neskano ashim. Ghana for be a woo omsika da bank scanashim. Ye be crying your way as almost cow bank. I didn't say basa. O catch a bibini, Ganini, as on ya debia, not one, median to me. And so one you will grow more. And I did be out of the internet as well. Crowdfunding. Abe. The very big change this cadia. Oh, in Azua. Yabre. About time when you wake up, maybe I mean, Yabra make a sarcas will be sure make us a lawyer were you too aggressive, dodo. And simply I yet tell what tell no come creative. People don't know. As me buy every day. What you TV no come so na bukrefu. So, as I say to me awful, because my careful, or my blood pressure. It's about 5:30, I'm not switching my phone off. Saturdays not switching off. Because I said the also. As soon as you must have meeting my blood pressure course. Why? That be Mr. Sammy Junamo. So
to the beer will probably know the bar. And I hope you are not able to pay and they must be pretty what is one of them. It's very a bar. The last one is a few. Be a softful. Now, Miankasa. Mia, na Missika, Missika, and you be at the apple prods, apple, and sick time, sorry, hammer, actually, to put the Mabby part to be Yakuma, the sorry. At the end of Mia Mayen. And we need me faith on that, program before the this year, better say na say anything. Is it a media and I media so that media can put the next question?
I mean, sir, sorry, no, what register? Sorry, now register.
But my register.
Anna, what register? Sorry, now say charity and I say company.
I don't know. Ghana Brother in your register, not for register, check.
And to register with the church people. Okay, fair enough. A year money came from somewhere to start. And title DC BBA would deal with that. So what register property and I saw register land, you know.
Land in Hankata, Miami Pro, 8 Pro, and maybe back, Miami Pro, maybe back.
Yeah. And you know, I would say all the documents keep it for future use. Because I am very easy for people to criticize pastors to say, Omudia, sorry, see, can they be yeah, I did any packer. Now, 7 any packer, sorry, a collection yet to say, yeah, the question to collection. Any person, the paper, educator collection. So, and you know, it's one of those things. For me, record keeping is very, very important. So that should be, we be being a no be did that. No chance, massa. My dear, no, my idea, that, and send a over. Mobile, so no service, sometimes the ground collection, it's nothing. And one, a month for Saba, as I catch yourself for say, and they hear me, and then yes, you say, not so for this canama. It's really, I'm aware of the politics, but I may a penny passe. Dancing Pancoso, you do jump baby party, cower, as well as a work nipa, and that's what you'll be able to do. And you know, I understand, and I'm the same also, because when you're a lawyer, I can't make it can be actually my free. But we also for where they could do be at him. Impossible. And you know, they are showing. Just over no, or more bravo TV free pa. Now, one for you. And in a meeting, I can. We only there. Basically, once I saw in some mobile trustees and I'm more elders on Berani. Say, would the family name fra? And when it be a problem, Kakra. And you know, you have an option. Sorry, no, also separating from your family staff. And to make us say, you can register the, what do we call it? The land, you know, in the name of the church. Now, if they were appointed trustees, so that you are crying trustees to meeting around the affairs of the church, you know. Then you can tell them, say, yes, this is the money that I invested in it. I expect the church to pay me my money, and then it becomes a property for the church and for everyone and for church members. And yes, then, you know, I have an interest in it. The land is my land. If for any reason, sorry, no, it will revert back to my people. Because the reason is say, sorry, no, bibi kakra. Because one thing people can easily accuse you.
Exactly.
So bibi kakra. Yes. Because yes, I mean a one-man church, and technically, you know, but a month or so back on, almost we feel say they are part of it. Almost say your and a honor SMO constitution, any memorandum of association, any article of association, so that it sets it out clearly. You know, the ownership. And if, for example, you invested in it, you can say, so, okay, fair enough. You are appointed trustees. I put money, say, so sorry, if you buy me out, you buy me out, then we know, say, the church belongs to everyone and the trustees. And yes, most of the time, one-man church, everything belongs to the pastor. But they need to be aware from day one, and it must be clear in your constitution. So they are Dachibi, Ubin Timin can say, what you sorry, they are my because allegation is there, a beba. But you need to protect yourself in some way.
Okay. Thank you.
Medasipi, thank you.
Okay,
I'm on for Bigu Super, Tivesramo, more Montian Romunano, Mamma Hana, Yenfam Tentem, na Yonko Yenim. I'm on for Bigu Super, Tivesramo, so fra, Mahunya, Yen Francis and Tentem, na Yembone, fast, na Yonko Yenim. Hello. Hi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, lawyer.
Nampa Chodi ni say na kase free.
Fia, me kase free kamba.
Efia yonko.
Lawyer Pacho, whether you be sana me be sama nini abako. Na Pacho, ono ye you ni no worry ni we no. Na untin ko pe already sama no, but me so yeah enyi you for no more time limit and I say almost different from which is another thing because why any
Okay. You say European passport na ankasa de at the moment no yembie ma wo mo. Na
where you
okay, tina yiri Ghana ni.
Oh, you Ghana ni officer indefinite.
Obetimi aye. So o card ni bi.
Card boy and alarm man in a group picture beside down mean take
Ebi
and channel we no.
Ebi ono na ehunu ye nti omra no metries ka na enya ma no.
Ngane there we dia job. And one will be what my time that me to be anya ma no. It's there dia job.
So ba aban sa ka no.
Aban sa ka no.
Sa pepe.
Yeah, one more thing. Me abako. If we can buy only Nigerian passport, almost card any be buy. Now so when you know so now you dependent. Is there anywhere obeti me it's not an answer.
But your second be my confused so.
Me have to abema. And on any buy, but almost the care any be buy. You mean no we dependent. But today you want to know.
Need Johnny.
We're done it done.
Hey, I said,
I can't say we and not to me any means forward. So this me ask straight here and I say, I'll be also bit me the last name to say dependent. How true is that?
Say, or no ankasa enya sponsorship ni bia obetimi aswitch. Eno na the safest option. The reason they say ufri jaba kuna kwa to jaba kuma udimi de kwa akoto. And personally on try non persuasion on one switching or uni ne hoso. Why?
Okay, and the switch now tomorrow no obetimi aswitch.
That's right.
Don't be dependent now.
So on the money sponsorship no apply as a main applicant. Why?
Okay. I know the
What the monko me I will not advise because if you jabakum wa ko to jabakum uti bobo no na go say you see you sure yes I know the boss ya nya no na edi
I know na edi
sabe pepe
it's true I have to buy that let's answer na my special thank you.
Okay, no worries, you take it. Bye for now. Right, okay. You be a man to kakra. Tim so betimi afrem. Me unsa amafo be good so pa. Enti be srem mo na mo fra mo ntimi ngrem nyina no. Because obi busa question ana ya adisia enti aye nya to boase kakra. Because questions na bi e bia ye explain nyina na it also addresses someone's question. E bia kono so be fra busa. Enti no say opese wo fra ma wonan emo woto ne fra enten na yentimi enye de and found na yintini move on, you know, because if you are saying econo, ayehu said the papa ne kan, no, said the ben yapa ne say oni honomo na bema fufuro abefe ni fie na afie no ene me ekoso eno de mema bia no e be ni de o and there no doubt about that. Hello yanko.
Hello lawyer.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Na pacho di say na kase free.
Me pacho we apply Wolverhampton and right about.
Hey, the mayor of Wolverhampton, yanko.
Yes. That was the power for you know, you might so I'm sure. What question about me a contract of the four of the warfare, but no PhD student. What apply at the one three and Canton, and I am in Canton with another show. A couple of Yamano issues from administrative review, which means that they are requesting for some documents. Now, it's a created the all Kakana, and the sole responsibility and DB and so little so engineer and Papa Bianco, some Koya affidavit.
na maybe sasa the I'll be me a boy and one because the amount of situation on Lanka and when we are in appointment Lanka Yamra.
Okay, the bit me kind of honest say administrative review no important to say better see you know mami en kan slowly na ye entia see admin
Yeah.
and admin review means go over it and administratively they are going to go over the decision any document now will submit it you know say case record no a mistake and therefore the evidence I was submitting from the beginning you know and no na omobehwe say who the new evidence ba ombeka say new matter say one matter no one farmer dada omutimi botugu and as I say administrative review ne so no de kotuma almost now no is taking them 18 months to make a decision. 18 months is 1 year 6 months. The question is does he have enough time to wait? Does he have the patience to wait? Sometimes when it's like that, you look at the timing and the chances of succeeding in administrative review. And if I don't make a decision, or not as I do, the chances is or not be changing again. Say this is not a wrong, no. You are looking at 50-50 situation. On top of that, you also have to wait for 1 year 6 months. Do you have the patience to wait? And therefore, some of these cases, you know, where this analysis, it may well be say a beer. I was a fresh application. Tini na be dependent. The refusal, any evidence, I never want. Not just a Venice, Asemaba. And in this case, you know, very unlikely, yes. Because Afena, Anna affidavit no quite for sole responsibility, no, and your official document, into Munintu. And on sole responsibility, a Ghana, Omuni BBFN sole responsibility. The closest one, a custody order. And also so a court process now, a check and sana wansaka. Because social services when you have bebem, as so mokoya report, baby a cranity, baby a mamenity, mako interview munina, and send a social services a year recommendation to the court whether it is in the child's best interest under the Children's Act of 1998 for a custody to be given to the parent who is in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
And yet an answer. Admin review ni personally my dream any area may quite me comfortable because they will come back and say the same thing.
And then the people chat was the chat we put
so what mean school oba na say it mean demonstrate say you can afford the school fees sir. And there, you know, and we take all the requirements that you okay. Right. No problem at all. Yeah, that was it. Bye bye. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. Pacho Dili Sanakasa Free.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, friend, Rama. Now, my Pacho. Yes, there were problem Kakana. No friend. Ebuka Kakra. My Pacho. My key application for my boy. Or what do you call it? Business passport. 10 years. And may apply almost every return papers meaning the brain. One more return papers in the brain. All my idea. All my send them a link maybe baby I got my more back. And I'm on 45 days, and I think the 45 days is due. I'm thinking there is any way I can do another no one because I'm panicking.
Okay, don't panic. The work can be baby. Let me say problem no. Say, I was a cranny detail or crew one.
What 12 at the maybe
Okay.
12 Monday.
Okay. And in this case, you know, on qualify for British passport automatically. And then I see a TRC.
Naturalization, right?
I saw your naturalization first.
Yeah,
Aha.
and no man can make for you.
Naturalization, you know, say you a paper base. I saw you online. Me patch what I say. And your application online. We are online via no scanning supporting documents ni na. Now what they call portal be. Now what they call portal ni so. Now we book appointment no akwa your fingerprint. And you send the physical documents in home office again. And it's not two ni na ba.
All right. No, I'm not pressure. Me pressure for
this can be back because reject the application, you know. Until at some point, you know, refund this scanner brought back. It is, you know, your paper application. It's online. Online, you know, form I fill, you know, you find a form T. Form T. Yes. Say, hunuswa, no, abani a charge of a crania yama, but me de bema. Alright, form near form T. We follow instructions now. Was now we are lucky everything I, but we payment. No, I go book appointment. No, abani a yama, ni a charge of a cry. Nice, yeah.
Alright.
Nena, nena, say that cry. Omoto abane that means say it's rejected. No. I can't see scan on back. Say who scan now open table the abiti aya another one. Who ni scan so abetwen. Amoma retain scan and say na what dey aye. Hello?
Okay, Matty.
Okay. Yeah.
Matty, I wait. But me try to me feel it from the foot for now. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll save the number and if anything, I'll book appointment and come and see.
That's right. Sarah may pay tea.
All right.
Bye bye. Okay. And say, and if I be two so good, bye bye. And if I be two so good, so more free giddy party, Messeremo, young for Mutu, and I think me did him not a way. Timo more free giddy Messeremo, more phrases here, and young family, most about free Scotland, or Frebe 5 times. 10 years no beginner so. My man says me a friend back na feel. Young fridge me did him run away, na young coy. Sape, okay, young friend, okay, we are free to the friendly panel. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon to you. Patro din the Sadaka se free.
Patro me de ama me ka free Manchester.
I'm a Manchester yonko.
Hello. Hello.
I'm a yeti over why.
Patro, me wo asendisa kakwana. Me problem is say me wo Medicare ni bine buy na no sponsorship. Na me employer ni sheda ni ejuma. And you know me wo part time ni nu ameye. Ena me busa say let me aye ni nyina na.
Basically, I'm running my client me another job, but it must be a job that is related to the job that you are doing. Ti part time na ye na e dey be adwuma e ye care work ni bia na say
but I care work maybe.
Anna, you shouldn't be doing more than 20 hours. Running say open you more than 20 hours. I was say we update to visa now at the home office. And tell so you careful kakra.
Okay.
Say the payment me ma full time. I will promise you know. Na say obi fufu bit me amount. Your friend is saying sponsorship you can switch.
Okay.
And me say
me go say me who are would me bo manu na sponsorship maybe answer.
Lawyer bi obeka cho so benya bi ama bi a we fake. And to be careful. Why? Because work or na say genuine, you know. Or switch here or soon bejo. And you know, I would suggest to say from now on, no. There's a website called Find UK Jobs. A government website. A Jumano pa air things on Sabeka because they're genuine. They don't mess about. But when second so 5 years you are secured. To make us a way, you know. cause our website or a government website adwuma bo bia a genuine job no wahale bia and no bibia is on the table on saka 5 years was module enti make say when you bia wo ye no pe ba bi fa wo nansi very important.
Okay, but I find the website in the
find UK jobs.
Find UK jobs.
Yeah.
Actually.
And about because here ukjobs.gov jobs UK.gov. Next week me share there about me refi. Why?
Okay. Yo, me that's
okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. You feel last call and then fetch me the name and away. And then Crawford this table Miss Batobe and the me doorbell bring on a ring. And I may issue in a Crawford time is I know over any day. I love a lie. You feel last caller. Nah, you fetch me the name and away.
Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon, lawyer.
Also, good afternoon, Nibi. Maybe I walk over there.
Oh, God, Uncle Pardon.
No, so what try so big rooms, I'll be free, no beginner so.
Yeah, true.
And yes, she.
Yeah. I tried the tea program, and yet, visa, no. Yeah, dear, no, yeah, the card in the year, and say updating. And,
so is it okay a British passport?
because of me,
Aye, okay. So the card in the area, fine. On the link, card in the passport in the album, TC, why? You don't worry too much.
Sure.
Why?
And maybe say my boy being so.
Okay, no worries. Why?
Yeah.
And that's if you won't take it care.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Right, you don't must say, let me say, dear, Daddy, Ekusi Yani Pitri, Yadi Jumediana Evan every next week. Jobs, and baby, I'll be finding genuine jobs. One at ATTV, but I mean, could be a daughter now, will be TT more. Remember, I'm not was. All right, people. Yes, the mean I must say next week baby. My name is David Darkman, Justice and Law Solicitors. You will unit 35B 49 Efra Road, Brixton, London, SW2 1BZ. Your telephone number is 0207 993 5976. You can also get us on 07538 969 589. Your website is your www.justiceandlawsolicitors.com. Any information be a PBR or your website. Until the Yamija will be a Yamia next week, if they say she be. And some of the buy a real life stories are easy. Now sometimes and toa we see AC into your best as smart to be now so she be a free now they're too hopeful. And 70 boy you can't I na ye the jokes kakra fem, but a serious matters ye can one sem because if we are one sem any probity one sem I walk court who could titibia you'll be shocked. You know, mouse and prophony be chin just say oh jenna untiasi. Aha, and see let's you baby, me avoid this problem now. You avoid some of these problems because they are real. And see let's me to be a Sasona also so no a bit me at all. And to men train ema ne nto ansa na aka se mihu yanka se mihu yanka so de na yese ama enema ayede aka echire enti ye besre mu pi yede kan se mi na ye fa ho adwene ye num se nyina so ne ye fa ho adwene enti ye besre mu ye mo ye ho modern na ye nye de eye de hia ene de fata se de ya enkofa problems emre enti ni manche me chiachia Mr. Solomon Amatefio baby a obi a chiachia obi otimi na fidie ne to ha etie obi otimi na fidie ne to ha etie de ye de bremo e de bia so me da mase ese mabom ho modern na mo follow program no ene ama bibia so I successful mo refer nkrofo ma ye left middle center mami bi ebehu mi mami ya adwuma bi ma no na o se obi the prince o se nipa no de number man ye friend the prince na mi nhira ne pa na since o de me number man no man behu me ne ba wa gya no Nigeria about 14 years nie Nyankopon dom ama ne saka ne visa obehu justice and no wa try say ne ba no beba ne ba na ba this week or airport one we try picture and I just was sending by my phone so now it was beautiful to see the smile on the child's face. Justice and no nyamia fire ye so eye emamade bibre. Na Yakobon so swadom omaya adwene omaye nyansa maye impomuden eme de ye adwuma pa ehye ye wo bana ni bonyam. Ye bekoso aye de Yakobon so tin maye talent Yakobon de maye. Ye bekoso I make good use of it. Ye bekoso so am a legal gospel. Ye ede ensamba anyhow ebabusiam de nim no ye be kire na how any koden na obi mpo efiri ma ekofa ba no they address some of these problems. You see be ma be ye bi wanye ni nyina inti no yes so ye be ya famu de betimi aye ye be inti no sana etie ana me de kan na say asofofo ene mpanimfo ene mu a mokasa edu badwam sa yi visa any biometric card any biometric residency permit yemfa kwa sorry dem enko preach yemfa ndi nkomo said ya yenu bi eho enka edwa because ekromu a enema esesa no ebedru mebi okoya na enye yie bi enti ebeshremu ni na yemfa mo dewru ni yenye asem tiefo na emom yenye etiefo ne yemfa nye adwuma soso said yes be bamfa so ama yebusuafo ene ye ho omom ben ye nyina ne na mfofo nyina until adako ana motie menkan justice and law solicitors semanti menkan bi ma Yakobon sade na wotwe ne eche ya ye be say ehie bi medam nyina mase for your continuous support to justice and law. Without you there can be no justice and law, and I believe that through operation of the law we can all achieve justice. Yawada ebe so ye to aba ewo kurumu ano conservative government, labor, reform and other parties, please make good use of your vote. And I don't many time until they can vote that me postal vote. It will vote me the crowd post to say a drew voting center on the counter. And it's a what your memu, Nasa was one vote to her, and you said the sebe, or won't be ranamano, or won't be voting a bayam ranamao. And see my nimbre, young way more than I see him voting. And Tisana etie, and in the Munina Masi. Namaya Duma next week if they say she be Yame Enka Ubiao. Midi nyumwi esoso na edi ejamokwa timuma ba
Biakume See